Hello and welcome back. This video has been a long time in the making. As you can see here, getting ready for our big trip to the Kalahari.
There's the baby.
Yeah, I'm here together with Heather today. Normally I do the voiceover all by myself, and today we've got...
It's me.
It's you, the problem. So we left Maun quite late actually because we decided to stop and have a coffee. So this is our little town of Maun, and we've got a really nice coffee shop here which is called The Duck, and so that is where we were heading.
We saw some town wildlife on the way.
We did. And this is The Duck. It is a really good coffee shop with very good coffee, and that is Heather. Yeah, she is. Having got ourselves some coffee and croissants, we got on the road heading towards the Kalahari. Now, this trip has been a long time in the making. I think we booked this trip like a whole year.
I think January.
Yeah, I think we booked it in January. It was almost like a year, I feel like. A year in advance.
We were super excited. The countdown was on.
Yeah.
Big anticipation.
Yeah. It was once we were on the road that I realized that I'd forgotten to buy my cough sweets. I've got the worst cough.
It's the most annoying cough ever.
It was from COVID. I had COVID really bad, and ever since then I've this annoying cough. So
you got enough sweets for 3 months there.
Yeah, actually, even while we edit, I still got some of those sweets. So my cough wasn't so bad in the Kalahari, though you might hear it in the background of the video. This is the junction here to basically to Makalamabedi, the second gate. We were waiting here now for my brother. He's coming in his Land Cruiser, which...
He still couldn't keep up though.
He couldn't keep up.
Look at the little kids dancing.
Yeah, these guys
Cuties.
were very excited to see us. But yeah, with my brother coming with his Land Cruiser, it was a bit of a family trip this. We had me, my wife, Heather, and then...
It's me.
It's you. And then we had my brother Terence and his wife, and then we also had Roger. Roger was traveling with us. We were so heavily loaded. I did say to everyone, we are too overloaded.
You did?
But
We
the
didn't listen.
princess, you can look in, as you see in these videos, you can see we were overloaded. But the princess demanded we have more water. And so everything that results in the rest of this video as a result of being overweight is a direct...
I feel personally attacked by that.
Well, you should, because it was your fault. But anyway, that will come later on. This is the worst road in the world. I think I say about every trip, there's the worst road. But how bad was this road?
10 out of 10 bad.
I don't know if it's our car, because I think other people probably fly over this road and don't feel anything. But in this old Safari, you feel every bump. Getting out, make sure the wheels are still on, basically. But the vehicle actually did very well. This first section, it did well.
Yeah, and you can see how thick the sand is also in patches.
Yeah, I always would get off the road so that my brother in his Land Cruiser would be able to drive on the road, because I didn't want him to get stuck.
Would be embarrassing.
It would. Now, we've been going to Deception Pan. I think this is our third trip, and I love Deception Pan, and I think I've loved it ever since I read a really great book called The Cry of the Kalahari. I've put a link below. It's an affiliate link, so if you want to buy the book, you can, but it is an amazing book. So if you can, go and read it. Cry of the Kalahari. It's absolutely amazing. And here we are, making
Another
sure.
firewood check.
Yeah, my brother Roger, you will see him in some of the clips. He tied the firewood on, so it's all his fault. Also, I did this.
So he drives the Land Cruiser.
He does.
We must tell everyone.
And he's good at pointing at things. That's what I said. I thought it was quite funny when I was editing the video, but anyway. But yeah, we kept going on. This is Roger filming us. We very rarely get a picture of both of us in the vehicle. So Roger's like our child behind us in this situation.
Behind the scenes camera crew.
He's not very good at it. I had to edit so many of his shots because he likes filming his feet for some reason. So there you go. You can thank me later for cutting out all his feet shots.
Or some people would like that.
But yeah, this was us going. So far, everything was going good and breezy, I think.
The road is just so long.
This road.
So sandy, so bumpy, so boring. It's like 80 kilometers of non-stop fence.
It is 80 kilometers, this road. And even Terence in the Land Cruiser, he got out and he was so annoyed because the corrugations were just so bad. So, yeah, very bad. Finally, we arrived at the veterinary gate. It's such a relief to reach this gate. It's still 20 kilometers to Matsweri gate, the entrance gate. But the next 20 kilometers are actually not too bad. Here you stop, they spray your tires. They never check for anything.
Dip your feet.
They just spray the tires, but we've never had
It looked like the guy sprayed my leg there, but he didn't.
He probably did.
Maybe.
Saw that foot and mouth a mile away. But yeah, they spray the tires, but they never check for like anything going in here. So we've never had any issues taking our supplies to Deception. And that's the name. But yeah. Chatting.
Socializing.
Having a little debrief. I think that's what we were doing really. I was busy signing the paper. I don't know where Roger is. Oh, he's filming. That's what he's doing. I'm surprised we're not seeing his feet. So yeah, you basically just sign this book, which I find is interesting because at other veterinary gates you don't normally sign any paperwork. Only if you're going into like a concession or something. So this isn't really a concession we're driving into.
This isn't the National Park gate.
No, it's not the National Park gate yet. But this road is much better. From the little veterinary gate, the next 20 kilometers, it's still bumpy, but it's so much better. There were some tourists here when we arrived. This is Matsweri Gate. Most people actually take the road in from Reykhops. We never take the road in from Reykhops, but that's the way most people come. And this is Matsweri Gate. And there's the sighting board.
A little bit quiet by the looks of it.
Yeah, it looked a little bit quiet, but I must say that Matsweri Gate has the best sighting board out of all the national parks. They keep it up to date, which is really nice.
And they ask you to record your sightings on the way out.
Yeah, they're very interested in it. I feel like the team at Matsweri Gate are very interested in the sightings. They want to know what's happening.
Also super friendly.
Yeah, they were very friendly. So we set off here and we thought everything was pretty good at this point, but it wouldn't be good for long.
So young, so naive, so hopeful.
Yeah, we were going. Look, he almost got his feet there. I didn't edit that one out, just so that you knew. And there he is,
fixing his mistakes.
Using my wheel spanner to hammer in the wood. This is why we bring him along. He's, full of ideas.
Roger is actually a very good wildlife artist. If you would like more information, please visit his Instagram. Or visit my Instagram and let me help you so I can cash that commission.
Yeah, get that commission on top. But yeah, he is a very talented artist. So go and look at his work. I will leave a link to something of his below. So this is where I think it all went wrong. I stopped to check that the firewood was still there, and my brother Terence driving behind said, "Is something leaking?" Which it was. Diesel was leaking, but the issue was something else. The issue, as you can see, there's some broken springs, and that is not what you want to see.
Day 1 of 6.
So we moved ourselves over to a shady spot to see if we could fix it. And we had no idea what we were going to do. It's not a great feeling being stranded in the middle of the Kalahari with broken springs. I mean, of the 4 leaves, 2 of them were completely shared in half. And this was 100% because we were overweight. And
I wasn't worried about the springs because I know that you are a very capable bush mechanic.
Oh, why? Thank you. Well, I didn't feel very confident, to be honest. We got out the high lift jack so we could have a closer look at the situation. In the end, we had to get out of here. I mean, you can either give up and die in the Kalahari or you have to fix it. Like, there's no other option. The girls made themselves comfortable.
We made a picnic.
You did. But we were actually not worried because fortunately we had all watched Top Gear and so we knew exactly what to do.
Yeah, on Hammond's car is a leaf spring, and if that breaks when you're driving through the bush, you're in big trouble. Or are you? What you need is a piece of mapani wood and a penknife. You whittle away at this for some time until you arrive at a leaf spring, such as this one that I made earlier.
So fortunately, we still had some of our mapani wood left because we kept stopping to pick it up after it fell off the roof, and we got to work with a bit of mapani wood and some rope. We set about fixing our broken spring.
Some people say TV is not educational.
It is very educational, especially Top Gear. It's sad, did you know it ended?
I did.
And it ended right here in Botswana or
I'm
Zimbabwe.
not surprised.
Like it ended in Zimbabwe and Botswana, but I think that's very fitting, to be honest. But yeah, let's have a closer look. That good, solid piece of mapani firewood. And this is actually real mapani. In their video clip, the wood they were masquerading as mapani as some fevered berry tree wood by the looks of it.
Did you get this firewood from Maun?
We did. This is Maun brought. You have to bring in firewood to the Kalahari. We once made the mistake of forgetting firewood when we came to the Kalahari. We had to scrounge firewood from other campsites that had been abandoned.
It's looking good though.
So this method that we did here actually didn't work. And you see that maybe a few moments later when we start driving. We tried something, and actually what we tried, this situation that you see over here, didn't work for a number of reasons. But our next method, oh, look at that.
That's me finally pulling my weight around here.
Yeah, she gave up. Epic wife gets dirty. You see, I put all these fun things in for the amusement of the people. Anyway, so got everything tied, and we actually drove maybe 500 meters and it broke again. So we decided to do a proper job this time. Again, more feed pictures. You see that? That's Roger. Again, we're using the mapani wood, but just a bit different. You see, we're putting it over the top of the axle and kind of like filling that space between the bump stop and the axle so that it can't put so much pressure on the spring. So that was the plan, and that job we did there worked really well, and we didn't have any issues with it for the rest of the trip.
It lasted the rest of the trip. Yeah. Even it's still there now that we're back in Maun.
Let's not talk about it because that's supposed to be going into the garage probably tomorrow. It's going in, so that's exciting. And we're getting hopefully new springs on the back and better ones. And this is Deception Pan itself. I love this place, and it was a huge relief to arrive here.
We said if we didn't make it to the pan, then we would turn around and head home.
Yeah, but is that an eagle or is that like a leopard?
So where are we going now?
Sunday pan, well no, leopard pan. If we make it.
If we don't make it?
Somewhere on the side of the road.
Okay. So we made our way slowly to, where's our campsite? Leopard Pan.
Leopard Pan.
Leopard Pan number 1.
Which is called Sunday Pan 1, but it is located in Leopard Pan. And we actually made it, which was a huge relief. The next morning saw us up bright and early. I think we slept really well that night. We were so tired, and I think the stress of the vehicle breaking down had also just made us very grumpy and not very happy campers. So it was actually really nice to wake up the next morning and take the car out, and nothing really bad happened with the car this morning, so it was really good. And stopped to take some videos of the sun coming up. Kalahari sunrises, I think, must be the best. They are so beautiful and, yeah, stunning. Oh, Roger Dodger getting the coffee. But yeah, this is actually Leopard Pan, and we just drove round Leopard Pan. We never saw anything in Leopard Pan. It was
very quiet.
In fact, as you can see in the video, there's not much game around, and I think the reason for that is just how dry it was. It was so dry. I don't think we've ever seen the Kalahari looking this dry.
Last year when we went in April, it was busy with fat-eared foxes, jackals everywhere. But this year, even the smaller things, there wasn't really a lot of anything.
No, there wasn't. Signs were falling down. So
community service.
Yeah, Roger doing his community service there. So from Leopard Pan, you can just drive quite a nice little drive to Sunday Pan Waterhole, and so that's what we did. I think every morning we were in Leopard Pan camping there, we drove across to Sunday Pan to the waterhole. But I must say that it was very desolate. We didn't see much apart from some small steenbok, and that was about it. This was interesting.
Brown hyena actually. Look at all the hair marks. That's why they look so indistinct. Brown hyena footprints. Zoom in a little bit. You can see all the hair marks around the track. There you can see the hairs around the brown hyena footprints. Comes here, and he's marking his gland scents on this grass.
So in the book, The Cry of the Kalahari, they're actually studying brown hyenas, and we haven't seen one yet.
We've never seen one.
And I think this is why we keep going back to the Kalahari, to see one. Like, just imagine seeing this thing. This is such a good picture, though.
Yeah.
I really want to see a brown hyena, and so it was really nice to see. We actually saw so many tracks and signs of the brown hyena. We also, this morning, we saw quite fresh lion tracks heading along the road, so that was exciting. But that was the only lion tracks we saw that morning, so it was a bit sad. We got our hopes up, but then we didn't see any more tracks for the rest of the morning. But we did see lots of these guys, and coming up, the dirty honey badgers. I think this trip we saw so many honey badgers.
I think over 20.
Yeah, I didn't put all of the clips in the video. I'm sorry. I think they're like giraffes. There's too many of them. We can't put all of them.
I will disagree with you on this. The more honey badgers, the better.
You think so?
Yes.
All right. We'll put in more honey badgers next time. These guys were cool. These kudu.
Very beautiful.
They are so beautiful. There's this herd of
majestic
young bulls. They're not super old. Apparently you can tell how old they are by the curls, how many curls they have. So you can count how many years they are. So those would probably be like two years old, going on 3 years. So we got to the waterhole. There were people. We drove all the way back to camp, and we forgot to film basically anything. Actually, we didn't forget to film. I also lost a lot of footage, and I think we never lose footage, but this time we did. Somebody stole the shower, so now we can't shower. So we're going to have a small bucket bath. Whoa, look at those sparkly toenails.
filthy.
but they're still sparkly.
Well, after a refreshing bucket bath,
Got your grubby hand in the ice bag.
yeah, that's how I keep my hands clean. And on all the videos you can see my hands are never clean. But making drinks, because afternoon game drive time and we needed to get some drinks. I feel really bad that so much footage is missing of like us making breakfast and that. So sorry guys, you don't get to see us cooking scrambled eggs because you haven't seen us do that enough. But yeah, what's the time?
4:19.
Yeah, 24-hour time is the worst. I don't know who understands 24-hour clocks, but anyway. So what time was it?
4:19.
4:19, so quite late. And we headed out for our afternoon game drive. And we had in the car with us our little niece, and she was getting her nose covered with suntan lotion. Protect yourself from the sun.
Mm-hmm.
It's important in the Kalahari. And I think this was actually quite fun because we were with our niece, and I think we basically just sang songs the whole drive, which was quite fun.
If you would like to request Gareth to sing Kalahari Dreaming, then please let us know in the comments and he will make a special video.
And there you can see we checked our wooden spring, our Mapani spring, and it was working very well. Yeah, I'm not going to be singing Kalahari Dreaming. Kalahari Dreaming. Yeah, we sang Kalahari Dreaming and made up the words as we went. This is of course Sunday Pan Waterhole. Have we ever seen anything at Sunday Pan Waterhole?
No.
No.
Kudu,
Springbok,
other tourists.
other tourists. If you have seen anything, let me know. What we did see was people's wee paper.
Toilet paper
Paper.
everywhere.
And actually we saw toilet paper all over the national park. And so here it was in a safe place, so I just burnt it. But yeah, please, if you are pee-peeing, poo-pooing, doing whatever you're doing, I think that's what I'm saying them, like disgusting. Clean up after yourself. I don't know how you can do that. Like put your toilet paper there and then just drive away. Like at a really like picnic spot. No, well, it's not even a picnic spot, but at a place where people stop and people go. So yeah, just clean up after yourself. But yeah, let us know if you've ever seen, if you've been to one. Actually, that's a good thing. Let us know if you've ever been to Deception and to the Kalahari. But if you have been to any of these places, let us know your sightings and things like that. I always find that interesting. We did meet a couple that they had been up to Piper's Pan, which I think is where we want to go next.
We've never been that far.
We've
about 100 kilometers further.
It's like another 100 k's on. I think next Kalahari trip we want to go there. But they saw brown hyenas, lions, and everything really at the pan there. So definitely.
If you believe them.
No, I believe them. They had that glow in their eyes that only comes from seeing brown hyenas at sunrise. I 100% believe them. But yeah, we came back to Leopard Pan, to the stretch point there. It's a beautiful place to have sundowners, and that is exactly what we did.
No. The jackals are in the bushes.
What are you looking for?
There's like one making those right here somewhere.
How did you get that to it? You used no. What is that?
After a really good dinner, that was a good braai, nice steaks, and we had some good sausage too, which was really nice. But then got the kettle boiling because you must always fill up your thermos for the next morning. And we were pretty tired. We hadn't yet recovered from the night before.
Good night.
Good night.
So grumpy in the morning.
I'm so grumpy before coffee. He should know better.
And that is why, first things first, got some coffee made. And that's why you have to fill up the thermos so early. I think we're really good at getting out of camp quite early. I mean, we normally get out pretty early. Like 6 o'clock we drive out. We did get the car started, but that was the last time it started on its own.
We should have seen it come in.
Well, I feel like it did really well. Though up until that point, it's like just woke up that morning and decided to die, which is just weird to me.
It was also quite cold.
It was cold. It actually was very cold. I think I say in one of the clips later on, I'm like, it's so cold. Because it was really, really cold, and maybe that is what added to it. But yeah, we set out early. But I must say, we've always found, and again, be very interested if any of you have ever seen anything really exciting happening in Leopard Pan, because it seemed dead. Like, there's no better way to describe Leopard Pan than basically dead. We did see this guy though. He was cute.
Very cute.
But we stopped here to take a look at him and take photos, and that was our downfall, because here we are with a broken starter motor.
Where's your wheel spanner?
Thank goodness we had our wheel spanner. I feel like this wheel spanner gets used for everything but a wheel spanner.
Does it even fit the wheel?
It does fit the wheel. But yeah, we tried banging the starter motor. If your starter motor doesn't work, sometimes trying to start it and banging it works. It didn't work, and as you can see, we kept banging at it. There's Roger in the background filming. Nice to see him not filming his feet. But I actually wonder where that clip is, you know. Don't see that. But yeah, jump start time. And I think my brother was quite happy to use his Land Cruiser to pull us.
You wouldn't know it by his face, but Terry was so happy to be the hero there.
I think so. I wasn't feeling very happy. How were you feeling?
I was fine.
I was not fine. I was really fed up with that car. actually, to be honest, after this trip, when we got back, I didn't look at that car. I didn't even unpack the car for like a whole week because I was so done with it. But it's going into the garage actually, I think, tomorrow. And we're starting to become friends again. So I don't know if we will ever become true friends again. But hopefully when it comes out the garage, it'll be better.
Okay, copy that.
We still continued on our game drive though.
No, we did. And I think the Kalahari, one of the most beautiful things is the sun rises. So even if you're feeling grumpy, when you get to watch such a beautiful sunrise, you can't be grumpy
Golden
for long.
hour oryxes.
Yeah,
What
we did.
more do you want?
I think that also tells you a lot about the sighting situation at this time. So this was in August, eh?
Yeah.
So maybe that's some insight. If you're going to the Kalahari in August, especially if it's been a dry, rainy season, like this year, we had a very, very small rainy season. And the Kalahari was incredibly dry. As I say, I've never seen it this dry. And the sightings were very low as a result. But it didn't stop us trying.
So one thing we did see, which was so cute, was this little African cat. So similar to a domestic cat, but in the middle of a national park.
Yeah, they're very cool. And I think they were a special sighting. I think we saw maybe 3 of them this trip. So that was good. And then we decided to make a stop for a coffee break. We needed it at this point. So.
It felt like the longest morning up until this point.
Exactly, but it wasn't over because there was more water dripping and we found we had a loose radiator hose. And I blame the radiator people. Let's not mention names, but I took the car to have its radiator redone. And when it comes back, the pipes are leaking. So there's that. But it wasn't a big fix, a big fix. It was just tightening the pipe, and it was fine. So, but I was a bit annoyed because it was just like one thing after another breaking down on the car.
It was nice to be with your brothers because it meant that not all of the pressure was on you, like you had extra input.
No,
other than me.
I did. My brother, both my brothers, especially Terence, is very good at fixing cars. And so, yeah, actually the artist, I don't know if he fixes cars really. He can paint them if you want, but not fix them. But Terence is good, and it is very helpful having somebody with a bit of knowledge around and somebody with a Land Cruiser that can tow you. Again, we tried the wheel spanner.
Trusty wheel spanner.
But the wheel spanner was pretty useless, and so we had to revert back to the normal starter motor.
No, we used manpower.
Eco-friendly starter power.
This was the moment we realised that we didn't need another vehicle to push start the car.
Look, one thing
Was that positive?
I don't know, but this Safari actually starts so easily. Like you don't have to push it far for it to start, which is really good. So after driving around Sunday Pan, which is quite a nice place to drive around, and I know a lot of people who have had really good sightings there. So we drove around there, didn't see anything, and drove back to Leopard Pan. And when we arrived at Leopard Pan, I spotted this white Hilux, and you saw me looking at it. And so we actually decided to go the other way because we try and stay away from other people. But then when we drove away, they chased after us.
At high speed.
And it turned out it was this great guy called Mateus. And Mateus, thanks so much for stopping. You watched the videos, so that was cool.
He recognized the Safari.
Yeah, I think that's like really crazy that somebody actually I don't think when you make these videos, you don't think anybody's watching. But yeah, it was really nice to meet you, Matthias, and it kind of made our day. I was so excited I had to go poop.
There's no shame in the shovel, guys.
Yeah,
There's no shame.
But that's the point. Like, take a shovel with you. If you're going to go and have a poop in the bush, don't just leave your things out and about for everybody to see.
Open air.
No, exactly. Cover it over. You don't want, imagine some poor brown hyena steps inside your poo-poo. I mean, they'll traumatize the thing. So take a spade and dig it over. But yeah, it was super cool to meet Matthias. And he went on to have a really good safari because I messaged him on Instagram afterwards. And he saw some really cool sightings. He saw lions, and I think that was really cool. Like, they had a good trip. So I think he had a better trip than we did.
Shout out to Matthias and his kids that we saw.
Yeah, I think it's such a cool thing.
It turned Garrett's day from unhappy to happy.
Yeah, it kind of made my day. But yeah, my keys were falling apart also. The whole key ring exploded basically, and then I was just like, this car's falling apart.
Sent him on a downward spiral again.
It did. But this was us now packing up, getting ready to leave. I'm going to spare you from having to listen to any more of that weird music. I'm so scared of getting copyright striked that I make my own music on the little band thing that is on the laptop, and it's not very good. So sorry about that. But yeah, this was us all loaded, ready to go. Just needed somebody to start us. So got our starter motor. And now we were going to Korri camp. So that was quite cool.
Very excited to go to Korri camp.
How did you rate Sunday Pan 1?
The campsite?
The campsite.
No, it was nice.
I think so. It was a really nice campsite, and I would definitely stay here again. But I think the next time I go to the Kalahari, it has to be in the rainy season. I want to see the Kalahari green. It was very dry.
March, April time.
Yeah.
Left Sunday Pan 1, which is actually at Leopard Pan. Now we're heading back towards Deception, and we're going to stay at Korri Camp 1 for 3 nights, so at least we won't have to move camp.
Yeah, I lost more footage, so we did arrive safely and we set up the tent. I did a really cool time lapse of setting up the tent, and it got lost. So after getting the tent set up, the girls got breakfast on the go. It was a really good breakfast too. I love a good big breakfast.
So, this is our little tent. Put it under this tree. It's a little bit away from the main camp. The main campsite is over there. That's campsite number 1, Korri camp number 1. It's a nice campsite. Obviously not a lot of shade. That is why we're here. You can see inside. Got our bedroll set up. And the interesting thing is that the main road is just over there. The main road, and that goes to Korri camp, because this is Korri camp number 1. So then Korri camp number 2 is down the road that side, and then you got 3 and 4 Korri camps, and of course Deception Pan is just over there.
After my brother got some prep ready for dinner.
Meal prep.
Meal prep, because he was going to cook us a really good stir fry, and you'll see that later on. But then we head out on our afternoon game drive. And I must say, I do like driving around Deception. It's a really cool place. And it wasn't long before we found some lion tracks, and they were fresh. And it wasn't much longer before we found
The lions.
the lions. We found them. They were some scrawny, young-looking lions.
Wait, who found them?
You spotted them. You did. Heather spotted them. And they were quite far off the road. but they were so thin actually, and you can see they look really tired.
Young one. There was actually 4
Were there 4?
or 3.
No, there were 3 of
Oh.
them. There were just 3 of them. There weren't 4. There were 3 of them, and you can see this guy here is a young male one. And I think maybe there's 1 female and 2 young males. But it was a really cool sighting. But they weren't very...
They were so sleepy.
Yeah, they were sleepy, and they were also quite scared. They didn't stay around for very long. But it was really good to see them, because at that point we were like, I don't think there's any animals in this Kalahari game reserve. But spotting the lions was really good.
It gave us a fresh sense of optimism for the coming days.
It did. It made us feel very positive.
I think I took the other road on the right. Yeah, that's good. I think that's the side you saw the leopard on. Yeah, correct.
So another beautiful sunset for some sundowners. We had some gin and tonic,
Yeah, some good crackers and salami.
cheese.
I don't know, is salami an Afrikaans word?
I think no.
I don't know. Salami.
I don't
It
think
sounds,
so.
It sounds Afrikaans. Let me know. But it could not be Afrikaans.
I don't think it is.
Anyway, we had that goat's cheese, always good. Actually, did we have goat's cheese? I feel like we forgot the goat's cheese. Anyway, we had lots of different types of cheeses, which was nice. But then we headed back to the camp. And it's quite sad because we did stop on the way to look with the spotlights for those lions, and we actually saw their eyes. But we lost the footage. So with this video, we actually lost quite a lot of footage, which has definitely made me, more aware to be careful next time, especially when transferring files. But yeah, we got back to camp, got the fire going.
Did we bring vinegar, babe?
No, I mean after. After what? Bush trip. Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Like some new... It's probably like the world is ending somewhere. And they're firing rockets and nuclear weapons that he told me this.
Yeah, so Terry's like...
We have a Tupperware for the...
Stir-fried dinner was really good. And afterwards, you did the dishes.
I did.
In the tiniest amount of water.
I think this is a good clip because it shows how little water you actually need for stuff like washing dishes and stuff. Good morning.
Good morning. It's cold.
It is.
And
It is.
Well, the sun was rising. It was a beautiful morning. It was cold, and so still and quiet. Like, I was listening to these clips, and there's no birds. There's not a single bird tweeping. It is dead quiet. So it was really quiet, cold morning. But we did spot tracks. I was here looking at some porcupine tracks. We saw quite a number of porcupine tracks, but we didn't see any porcupines. Maybe next time. We did see this little jackal. We saw a number of jackals. Actually, is that a jackal? That's not a jackal.
I don't know what another one of those
It's
African cats.
it was another one of those African cats. That's what it was. They were quite cool. That's why I say I think we saw like 3 of those African wild cats. That was pretty cool. I actually remember that wild cat. It was just before those thick bushes that you have to drive through. Then we spotted this guy. This was beautiful.
Where are we?
We've just looped around that pan over there.
Which is the first pan.
This is where the lions were yesterday. We haven't seen any tracks crossing the road, so we're going to go down the road. Maybe we'll find a brown hyena, or a lion, or a jackal.
And then we did see another dirty honey badger just running across the road like it owned the place.
I think there were 2 of them. It's funny how honey badgers are normally in 2s. I think often when you see, if you see one honey badger and you don't see the other honey badger, like turn around.
Something terrible happened.
Because either something terrible happened, which is unlikely because these things are so tough and feisty. Yeah, just turn around. He's probably sneaking up on you.
I think it's cute. They're always with their bestie.
They are with their bestie. I'm with my bestie. Always. Every single day. But yeah, we were. This is heading off towards. There's this beautiful area called, I think, Leopard Pans. And it becomes a lot more open, a lot more flat. And the road is really nice because it's really hard. So we headed in that direction. My brother in the background.
Finally caught up again.
Yeah. I think at this point we were looking for a coffee spot.
For the show.
You can see how it's just like all the things that popped off.
Tortoise shell down there. It's like 3 in this. I forgot.
Indigo driving.
Want me to close up your camera, babe?
Tell us when.
After a really nice coffee break, we did some interesting loops. We hadn't driven these areas before, so we did some loops in some new areas to us, which was really nice. Didn't see anything on those loops, and then we headed back to camp, and I don't want to mention it again, but I lost the footage. So this is the only photo I have and this was Heather making breakfast. So well done, babes.
I feel like it's a novelty. I don't usually cook breakfast.
No, you don't. Normally I do that, hey?
Mm.
But yeah, after we had breakfast, we had a nap, we got out and went out for the afternoon drive. And
Beautiful.
the sunlight and the colors were absolutely beautiful, really stunning. So a beautiful evening to go for a drive.
I just get the thing. Or does this come to the truck?
I love jackals.
Yeah, jackals are super cute and they're always so busy and doing things. So always very cool to find jackals and just sit there watching them.
I love it when they're little jackal donuts when they're sleeping.
Yeah, they make these,
So cute, man.
especially we saw them in Naipans. So many of these little jackal donuts next to the road, out in the pan. Basically everywhere you looked, there was a little jackal donut. So super cute. Love jackals. I love this clip because as we drive and enter into the camp, you can already see the stars. You see the stars, like super cool. Kalahari really good for the stars. Like you go outside at night and it's just absolutely amazing. My fridge wasn't working, so another thing dying.
Another thing. What do you have there?
Sorry. That's fine though, hey. It's cool.
Look at my hands, man.
You have chickpeas.
This trip is getting me addicted to a chronic undersalter.
So after roasting some marshmallows with our niece, we head over to bed. By the way, who really likes roasting marshmallows? I don't know.
Everybody likes marshmallows except for you.
Maybe. Let us know in the comments. But yeah, time for bed.
Good night.
Good night. So elegant. Hey, wait for me.
What are you looking for?
We found some incredibly fresh leopard tracks here. And we knew they were fresh because just 20 minutes earlier, a Land Rover had passed us on this road. So
And they were on top of his tracks.
these leopard tracks were on top. And the amazing thing with these leopard tracks is that it was carrying a baby. So you would have the mother leopard tracks, and then you would have the baby leopard tracks, and then she would pick it up in her mouth, and you would just have the mother leopard tracks. Then she would put down the baby, you would have both of them. So cute, and we knew we were so close. And the tracks went off the road, and there's nothing there. I mean, there's like a few shrubs and bushes, so we're like, I'm sure we'll be able to spot it. And so we spent, I think, maybe an hour and a half just driving up and down, getting on the roof, looking through the binoculars. This is why it's so important to have a good pair of binoculars, by the way. Like, by the way, talking on things, in the description of this video, I've left all our affiliate links. So we do get a like and a commission. Okay, wait. Look at this thing.
What do you see here? Please tell us.
It's a springbok. That is what it actually is. But what do you think it looks like? Let us know.
I was convinced it was a cheetah.
Yeah. Because we were looking for the leopard. So we were scanning the bushes, and that's when we spotted that thing. I mean, this is just us driving up and down, looking. In the end, we just stopped for coffee because...
Sadness.
Yeah, sadness because we didn't find it. But yeah, so I've left all our affiliate links below. We do get a commission if you buy something. But I basically put all our favorite like gear and books and things. So yeah, if you want, you can have a look at them. But yeah, we had a nice coffee break. We actually drove up onto like the fossilized sand dunes that surround Deception Pan, and we had coffee there. And it was quite interesting because there was a lot of grass up there, and out in the pans there's like no grass at all.
So where are we going?
We are going to Sunday Pan. We're right now in Deception. 21 kilometers. So 18 kilometers to Leopard Pan, then 7 kilometers to Sunday Pan.
Why are we going there?
See what we can find. My brother is going the other way around, which is like the more direct road, but it's over the Sandwich Hills, and we'll see how it goes, see if we find anything. I think it's too small for a lion.
No,
I'd say this is a big leopard.
no. These are the small line that you saw.
No.
Can I just remind you now that we're still driving on a bit of Mopani wood. Like, our suspension is sponsored by Mopani Tree. And
Thank you, Mopani Tree.
yeah, I was very impressed how that kind of bush mechanic fix held up the whole trip. And we never ever had to tighten it or repair it after that initial fix. So that was really cool. We stopped at Sunday Pan to have a nice little snacks. We didn't
And a
stop.
photography session.
Yeah, because we didn't stop for lunch this day or breakfast. We just drove from the morning all the way up until basically evening. So it was a long day. But look at that feast. That was very good. But yeah, a nice little spot. Lots of people stop here. I don't know if it is
That perfect cracker.
yeah, I don't know if this is an official stopping area, but everybody stops there, so I'm not sure what its actual designation is. But we saw quite a few like plains animals: springbok, gemsbok, kudu, and one giraffe skull. But that was about it. It was very dry. I mean, we've said it so many times, but just look at it. It is so dry. it was a long, long morning. I mean, I think it was late afternoon by the time we got back.
I
So
think we got back at like 2.
yeah, and it was a very quick stay at camp. We had a little bit of a nap, made some drinks, and then it was time to go again. We were really pushing it. Well, mainly Zoe and Roger. But we were really pushing to try and find some good sightings, because the sightings had been so scarce that we really had to put in the time and kilometers to try and find anything.
We are just leaving camp now. It is our last afternoon game drive, and as you've seen already, we haven't seen anything too exciting, so we're all hoping that this evening we'll find at least a leopard. I really want to find a leopard, so we'll see. We've seen lots of signs of them, lots of tracks. We're just going to loop around and see what we find. Bye!
Being our last afternoon, and we were so like,
Desperate.
I don't know if it was desperate, but we were so sure that we would kind of see a leopard. Like, I feel like I felt so like I felt it in my bones.
Isn't that manifestation? You were manifesting it.
Trying to manifest a leopard. I don't know. I just felt it. Like, I was like, today is perfect. We're going to find the leopard. So we looped in and out, and I think we probably did like, I wouldn't be surprised if we did 100 kilometers just in that.
Felt like thousands.
It felt like thousands, looking everywhere for a leopard. And as the sun set, we saw a jackal.
Jackal donut.
Jackal donut. They are super cute though. I mean, just check
Maybe
it.
just sleeping.
In the middle of nowhere. National Geographic
That blur
footage,
though.
this.
Oh, look, cutie. A moment of silence for the jackal.
Yeah, they're super cool. Well, the sun set and we did not see a leopard. I was disappointed. Like,
Yeah.
I really felt disappointed. Like, you mustn't base your trip on sightings. But I will say this, that this Kalahari trip was the worst Kalahari trip for sightings. And I think added to the fact, with all the car problems, it was actually quite a stressful trip. But yeah, this was our last evening and we prepared an epic braai. We had so much meat left over, so we decided to just cook everything so we wouldn't take it back with us. So a big fire, got cooking, and prepared ourselves for a really, really good braai.
Throw it in your cupholder.
Oh, nice.
The opposite of what everybody wants.
If it burned, then they probably should have taken it back. I think college is.
What are we doing?
Fueling up. Say goodbye to the Kalahari tomorrow.
We're packing.
Like, I don't know what it is with you and Blumenthal at the moment. No, it's Mr. Joe. No, it's Mrs. Joe. She gave his
And so it arrived. The last day, the last morning in the Kalahari. Setting down tent. It's kind of sad.
I love this time lapse because watch how the sky changes from this blue
Just like orange. There it goes.
just when the sun just peeks out over the
Horizon.
horizon.
That's the thing with the Kalahari. It's just so flat that when the sun rises, you get these instant changes of light. So really, really cool. All in all, how was your trip to the Kalahari?
I enjoyed it. I know it was very stressful for you, but I never for a second doubted the strong, handsome bushman that I married.
How are you feeling about the trip?
It's going to be slow. That's all.
Mm.
Hopefully we don't break down. Get back to Mount. Come back here in March.
Well, guys, that was the Kalahari. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Yeah?
All of it.
Bye!
Bye!
Bye!